Are you pregnant and planning to breastfeed? Congratulations. There are a few things I wish I had personally known before starting, and that I see so many of the new moms I work with struggle with in those first few weeks. And honestly, so much of it comes down to not knowing what to expect or how to prepare ahead of time. So today, I'm breaking down exactly what you can do before your baby arrives to set yourself up for breastfeeding success. And to make it even easier, I've put together the Confident Milkmaker Challenge, the pregnancy edition. This is designed to help you find confidence in your ability to make milk before your baby even arrives. You can join for free in the description for the video. First off, you should know what to expect. You need to go into breastfeeding with realistic expectations. So many new moms are blindsided by how challenging it can be in the beginning. And the thought of preparing beforehand didn't even cross their mind. This happened to me, and so many of my clients tell me the same thing. I personally didn't even think about breastfeeding more than a couple of times. I figured it would just happen. Here are a few basic things to expect that will hopefully give you some realistic expectations. Breastfeeding isn't always instinctual. Babies are born with feeding reflexes, but they still have to learn how to latch properly, and you have to learn too. It can take time to figure out what works well for your body with your baby. Second, your milk is produced in small quantities the first few days, and your body produces colostrum, which is small in quantity but perfect for your baby's tiny stomach. This production begins during pregnancy. Around 2 to 3 days postpartum, your milk will transition to mature milk. Some people refer to this as your milk coming in, but don't let this trick you. You have milk before, that is your colostrum. It just increases in the quantity around 2 to 3 days postpartum. And finally, latch matters. If breastfeeding is painful, something needs to be adjusted. Pain is a sign to troubleshoot, not just to push through. To learn even more, I highly recommend taking a breastfeeding class or doing a prenatal consult with a lactation consultant. My team is available worldwide and would love to help you. We work with a variety of U.S. insurances as well, and we offer a resource called Fuss Free First Year, which has all of the resources you need, including short videos to help you get through breastfeeding problems. There's a lot of information on social media, and most of it is from people sharing their personal experiences, which isn't always helpful for the masses. Second, you should stock up on essentials. You don't need a ton of fancy products to breastfeed, but having the right ones on hand can make life a little bit easier. Here are a few of my personal must-haves: nursing bras and nursing tanks. Comfort is key when you're breastfeeding around the clock. Nursing bras are designed to give you support and comfort when you need it. My favorite brands are Dave and Natalie, Love and Fit, and Kindred Bravely, and I will post a link below to all of those. Nursing pads are also a must. Many moms leak a lot during the early weeks, so these prevent messy situations and help keep you dry. My new favorites are from a company called Lololo. They aren't individually wrapped like many, so they are even easier to use. And finally, a good breast pump. Even if you plan to exclusively nurse from the breast, the last thing you want is to shuffle around at 9 p.m. because you need a pump and didn't have one or the right parts. Trust me, I know this from experience. Most insurances will cover one for free. The Spectra S1 and Baby Buddha and Puppables breast pumps are my favorite. You can check out my free pump comparison guide in the description for the video, and I've also linked to a place where you can check insurance coverage. I would highly recommend adding these essentials to your registry or stock up before baby arrives. You don't need a lot to breastfeed, but these things will make it easier. I'll also drop a link to my breastfeeding registry guide below. Third, let's talk about creating a support system. One of the biggest predictors of breastfeeding success is having support. Breastfeeding can feel isolating at first, so set yourself up for support now. A few key people to have in your corner: your partner, spouse, and other family members. Make sure they understand the basics of breastfeeding so they can help you stay encouraged and advocate for you. I can tell you that a supportive partner can make or break the breastfeeding experience. Make sure you get on the same page. I always encourage partners to come to classes and consults because it does make a difference, and we can talk through some of those harder things that you might have questions about. Speaking of that, a lactation consultant, specifically an IBCLC. And no, you don't have to wait until you're having problems to connect with one. Many of us are booked out, but make special priority for prenatal or returning clients. Find someone that you can trust and turn to for all your concerns. My team would love to help you, so be sure to reach out to see if we can get you on our schedule. You can also find online or local mom support groups. Surrounding yourself with other moms who are going through the same thing can be a huge lifesaver. Keep in mind that these groups don't always give the best information, but it can be wonderful to create your village. So a couple action steps include finding a local lactation consultant before birth so you're not scrambling for help at 3 a.m. Join a breastfeeding support group, online or in person. I have a free one that you can join on Facebook below. Next, let's talk about knowing your hospital's breastfeeding policies if you're giving birth in the hospital, because this can make a big difference. The first few hours after birth are so important for milk supply and latching, so what happens in the hospital matters. A few things that you can look into about your hospital. Do they encourage immediate skin to skin? This boosts oxytocin and helps baby latch early. Do they have any lactation consultants on staff? And if so, how available are they for lactation support? Usually, even if they have them, they are very overworked and not available for very long. And also check to see what their approach to supplementation is. If the baby needs extra milk, is there donor milk available to anyone who needs it? Will they support you in hand expression colostrum first or alternative feeding methods? These are all important questions to ask. Breastfeeding isn't all or nothing. Some moms exclusively nurse from the breast, some combo feed, some exclusively pump. The best feeding plan is the one that works for you and your baby. So to wrap up, here are a few things I want you to know. Your feeding journey may change and your goals may change. Some babies latch right away, others struggle. It's okay to adjust. If something isn't going right now, it doesn't mean it will be forever. I have worked with so many families that had issues in the hospital and now their babies are exclusively nursing at the breast. There's no such thing as a normal level of pain. I said this earlier, but it is a hill I am willing to die on. Breastfeeding shouldn't be painful, and if it is, it's not because you're doing something wrong. It's something that might be out of your control, but there's almost always something we can do to help. Breastfeeding is a skill, not a reflex. It takes practice and patience for both you and your baby. It comes more naturally for some, and it's harder for others, and that's okay. Healthcare providers aren't always the most supportive person in your corner. It might come as a surprise to some here, but many healthcare providers aren't actually breastfeeding savvy or even supportive, including pediatricians. Don't be surprised if you get advice that makes you raise your eyebrows or that you wonder if it's actually the right move for you. This is why having a lactation consultant that you can trust and taking a class can make a world of difference. If something doesn't sound right, it probably isn't. I remember I had a lactation consultant come into the room at the hospital and tell me I would totally struggle to breastfeed because I have flat nipples. It really hurt my confidence, and it didn't make any sense because my son was nursing at the time with no issues. I have heard stories like this over and over, and it never ceases to amaze me what people say and how much it can stick with you. Either way, I hope that this video was helpful to give you a solid plan to get ready for breastfeeding. And if you need more expert guidance for those early months, be sure to sign up for Fuss-Free First Year. It's a step-by-step resource that has simple to watch videos and tons of resources to make breastfeeding easier from pregnancy through weaning. You can also book a consult with my team if you'd rather have some one-on-one support. You can check that out below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.